I am Lucius Eternus, the angel of death, the silent observer who guides souls through their final moments. Perhaps you do not know me, but I'm always there, like a quiet shadow, waiting for the moment when each life reaches its end. And now, you will hear a story that straddles the thin line between life and death. A journey that unveils what lies beyond. Today, I will share with you the story of Ethan, a man who has glimpsed what exists beyond the boundary of life and death.
In shadows I walk, I've been here from the start. I am the hand that seals fate, the end of every...
Ethan is a man in his 40s, surrounded by the constant silence of the night. His world is built from numbers, codes, and obligations, a routine he follows religiously, like a well-oiled machine. But there's something more, something unseen, a shadow that grows stronger with each passing day. Yes, Ethan is married. Amelia is his wife, but despite that bond, he lives alone. She's distant, both in body and soul, wandering to places he can no longer reach. And in her absence, solitude has become his closest companion. I see him now, sitting at his desk, his face lit only by the cold glow of a computer screen. Each keystroke, every line of code, sounds like the ticking of an invisible clock, one he doesn't notice, but that marks each second of his existence. His eyes, fixed on the numbers, try to hide what his body already knows, an ever-growing presence, a shadow within him, silent yet relentless. Ethan tries to brush off the pain in his chest, a subtle pressure that comes and goes. He thinks it's just stress, the weight of work, but I know what lies ahead. His path is leading him to the inevitable, to a moment where he'll have to face what waits on the other side. There's a battle raging inside him, one he can't see, but it's gathering strength. Time, oh time, it races forward, and with every heartbeat, he draws nearer to the truth that awaits him. The clock on the wall continues to count the seconds, and I remain here, watching. Because Ethan's journey is only beginning, a journey to a place where shadows become clear, where answers he never sought will finally reveal themselves. And I will be there, as I always am, ready to guide him to whatever comes next. I always say that life is fragile, like glass. And Ethan, he was about to find this out the hard way. That morning, as he left for work, his mind was weighed down by everyday worries, financial disputes, work problems, the kind of concerns anyone might have. But as he descended the stairs of his home, something was off. The pain in his chest wasn't just exhaustion, it was his body's desperate attempt to warn him of what was coming. When Ethan collapsed, it was as if time had frozen. Amelia, his wife, found him there, sprawled on the floor, barely breathing, his eyes vacant. Panic gripped her, her hands trembled as she dialed 911, trying to wake him, begging him to respond. But he couldn't hear her. And I was there, watching every detail, as I always do. The hospital doors swung open like gateways to a chaotic world of light and sound. Doctors and nurses rushed down the halls, working frantically to stabilize Ethan, their voices cutting through the air with sharp, urgent commands. Amelia followed them, haunted and overwhelmed, struggling to keep up with the rush of events, unsure of what awaited. Her heart was torn apart by the uncertainty. She watched as Ethan was wheeled away on a stretcher, eyes closed, his face void of life, a sight she feared might be her last memory of him. And there I was, Lucius, as always. Invisible to mortal eyes but present in every shadow that stretched along the hospital walls. I could feel the cold touch of death beginning to brush against Ethan's spirit, like a chilling whisper slowly creeping in, draining away every ounce of life. Then came the coma. For Ethan, it was like being pulled into the depths of a vast, dark ocean. He felt distant, isolated, yet strangely aware of everything around him. He could sense Amelia's hands, holding his desperately, trying to pull him back to the land of the living. He could hear his father, Isaac, murmuring prayers, pleading for a miracle. He wanted to respond, to shout that he was still there, but all that came was silence. He was trapped between two worlds, his mind floating in the void, his body lying helpless in the hands of those still fighting for him. As Ethan drifted in that suspended state, I walked through the hospital room, passing by the machines that kept his body alive. And there, just outside, Amelia clung to a fragile hope, praying that her husband would return to her. Each day was a battle of faith against despair. Every second was a testament to her love and devotion. Sometimes, Ethan would feel another presence close by, something beyond his family, something more. Not a threat, but a force observing him closely, as if waiting for the right moment to speak. That presence was me, Lucius, the angel of death. In the silence, I whispered words that pierced through to his soul, words about time, choices, and the worth of the moments he still had. I felt time unraveling around him, the spiritual plane intertwining with reality, making it impossible for him to tell days from hours, or hours from minutes. He was lost, drifting on the thin line between life and death. Amelia, unable to see or hear me but sensing something just beyond her reach, knew that Ethan was struggling to break free from the void. She knew that behind that unmoving body, something profound was happening. A silent yet fierce battle in which Ethan would have to make a choice. And I was there to witness it. I, Lucius, watching over the invisible war that takes place when life hangs by a thread so thin it feels ready to snap. The doctors began to lose hope. The hospital room filled with doubt, fear, and a growing sense of resignation. Amelia's faith flickered like a candle on the verge of going out. But I knew that this was merely the calm before the storm. Ethan stood on the edge of something far greater. He was about to understand that his journey wasn't just about what he would leave behind, but about the choices he could still make, and what he might find as he ventured beyond the veil that separates life from death. I watch as Ethan is pulled from the darkness of his coma and steps into a new space. It's no longer the hospital, nor any world he recognizes. He's somewhere else now, a boundless expanse of serene whiteness, the spiritual plane. Everything feels perfect, calm, but in a way that defies any kind of description. Here, time and reality don't play by human rules, and memories dissolve like mist. I am Lucius, a distant presence in this plane. A silent observer, always vigilant. And Ethan, newly arrived in this spiritual realm, stands before a presence he doesn't quite know, yet feels deeply familiar. Her name is Sarah. There's a soft, timeless beauty about her, as if every feature of her face carries a piece of pure, undying love. Something about her presence radiates peace, a peace beyond any human comprehension. As Ethan adjusts to this new place, visions begin to take shape around him, like reflections in a shattered mirror, fragments of the life he left behind. Silhouettes glide gently around him, like scattered pieces of forgotten memories, figures swirling close yet just out of reach. They seem to reveal secrets about who he was, who he is, but the meaning slips away. Each of these figures, so near and yet so distant, brings back faint, almost forgotten memories, a childhood laugh, a moment of regret, a broken promise. Ethan tries to make sense of it all, to grab hold of these fragments, but understanding slips through his fingers like water. What are these silhouettes trying to say? What secrets do they carry? He feels as if he's being filled with knowledge that transcends any human grasp, as if each symbol floating around him holds hidden wisdom, tied to crucial moments of his life. But he can't quite make sense of it. He can't find clarity in this silent chaos. As I, Lucius, watch from afar, my words reach his soul like a whisper. What you see, Ethan, are pieces of your own essence. Each silhouette, each symbol that crosses your path, they are choices, memories, fragments of who you are. Of who you were, and who you might yet become. I witness Ethan's struggle to understand, his search for answers to questions he's never asked. This is the limbo, the space between life and death. A place of beauty and terror, of peace and despair. Ethan is forced to confront not just his existence, but the very nature of what it means to live and die, to love and let go. And beside him, as a silent guide, I wait. For the moment of truth is near, and Ethan will soon have to choose his fate. As Ethan adjusts to the surreal surroundings of the spiritual realm, Sarah remains silently by his side. Yet there's an urgency in her eyes, something Ethan can't fully grasp. The serene calmness of this place stands in sharp contrast to what lies ahead. And I, Lucius, linger like a presence just out of sight, yet deeply felt, a constant thread weaving through the fabric of this world, subtly pulling the strings of fate. Finally, Sarah breaks the silence. Her words are calm, yet they carry an indescribable weight. She gently guides Ethan through the fragments of his visions, slowly revealing the truth. He is caught between life and death, balanced on a delicate scale he never knew existed. Each step he takes in this strange place brings him closer to a final decision, a choice that only he can make. And around him, the tension builds like an invisible shroud wrapping around his soul, making him question everything he thought he knew. This is when I choose to reveal myself. Ethan cannot see me fully, but he senses me, like a shadow gradually taking form, a guide unveiling piece by piece. My voice reaches deep into his mind, resonating with the weight of endless ages and all the wisdom they hold. You stand at the crossroads, Ethan. One path leads back to the life you know, a life of love, struggle, and hope. The other path leads to eternal peace in the spiritual realm, where pain and regret cease to exist, only rest remains. Time in the spiritual plane moves differently. Each second feels like it stretches into eternity as Ethan struggles to make his decision. I guide him to confront his regrets, his forgotten memories, his loves, and his pains. I show him glimpses of possible futures, a renewed life beside Amelia, a second chance to cherish all he almost lost, or an eternal peace, free from suffering or doubt. Sarah watches quietly beside him. Her eyes are filled with a love that transcends human understanding, a love that is pure, timeless. She knows the choice is his alone. Her presence stands as a reminder of what could have been, and what still might be. Ethan feels the weight of his choice, a burden he never imagined he'd have to bear. And in that stillness, it's as if the entire universe waits for his next move. In that profound moment of reflection, the true battle is revealed. It's not a struggle between life and death, but between love and fear, between accepting or fighting for what his heart truly desires. The truth is simple yet devastating. Ethan's fate rests in his own hands, and whatever choice he makes will be final. I, Lucius, feel the exact moment when he decides. I sense the tension dissolve, the doubt transform into resolution. Now, only one question remains: which path will Ethan take? Will he return to the world of the living, or will he embrace the eternal rest that the spiritual realm offers? The choice is made, but destiny has yet to reveal all its secrets. As Ethan remains in his state of indecision within the spiritual realm, a truth emerges with piercing clarity. Sarah, who up until now seemed a serene and protective figure, unveils her true identity. She is his daughter, the little life he lost many years ago as a baby. But here, standing before him, she is a grown woman, a soul who has transcended time, now revealing herself as his guide, his protector. Understanding washes over Ethan's heart like a wave finally crashing upon the shore. Every doubt, every scattered memory aligns, and Sarah's presence surrounds him with overwhelming love. Her words are gentle, yet they hold the weight of an undeniable truth Ethan must face. You have to choose, she says, her voice resonating with a gentle touch of hope. But remember, Father, once you decide, there's no turning back. I, Lucius, watch this moment closely because it is here that the boundaries between both worlds become intertwined. Ethan sees before him the possibility of returning, of waking up beside Amelia, of living another day with his family. But the price of his choice is leaving Sarah behind, to remain in the uncertainty of mortal life, where joy is fleeting and time is ever so short. The other path is one of complete peace, a reunion with his daughter, where love knows no bounds and rest is eternal. Back in the hospital, Amelia is right by Ethan's side, clutching his lifeless hand. Her tears fall like rain on barren soil, silently begging for his return. She whispers to him to wake up, to come back to life, to not give up. And I, Lucius, observe the contrast between the two worlds, the spiritual realm, serene and everlasting, and reality, chaotic and unfiltered. The line that separates them is as fine as a razor's edge. And then, Sarah steps back. A solitary tear traces down her face, carrying all the love and longing that a soul can hold. Ethan feels a sharp pain, as if his very essence is being torn from a place where he has finally found peace. The farewell is silent, yet its meaning is profound. He feels the weight of his decision, and then, he is pulled back. Air floods his lungs, and Ethan awakens with a desperate gasp. His eyes open to the world of the living, and he feels the pressure of the present, of the body, of the pain. Around him, voices filled with relief and joy. Amelia and the doctors celebrate his return, eyes glistening with tears and hope. He is alive, yet forever marked by what he has witnessed. Sarah lingers as a living memory, a presence in Ethan's heart and mind, an invisible bond that will always connect him to something beyond this world. She will be there, like a light that never fades, a quiet voice he will hear in his moments of doubt. And I, Lucius, will continue to dwell in the gentle shadows, ever attentive to the unfolding of the lives I touch, awaiting Ethan's next move, his next breath of life or sigh of departure. For the line between life and death is not as clear as it seems. It is fluid, a journey that all will walk one day. He chose life this time. A courageous decision, but will he truly understand the messages that the other side revealed to him? Or will the fragments of memories from the spiritual realm slip away, like dreams forgotten upon waking? The future remains uncertain, and the signs Ethan received will linger, hidden between the lines of his soul, waiting to be deciphered. And so, I wait. Will fate bring him back to my presence? Will the journey he now embarks upon lead him again to the brink between life and death? The answer remains hidden, and time will reveal whether this was his final dance with death, or merely the beginning of something far greater. I will be there, waiting. Because death is patient. And when the time is right, I will be ready to guide him once again. And you, my friend? One day, we will meet again. On the day of your death.
In shadows I walk. I've been here from the start. I am the hand that seals fate, the end of every heart. I'm no villain nor hero. I'm the peace amidst the pain, the angel who comes, who takes yet offers love.